welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Battlestar Galactica. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 8 of Battlestar Galactica. Coming off of the last episode, look, I think anytime Gaius appears on the screen, we'll have like a lot of seriousness going on. People are dying, there's space battles, the president's sick, and Lee and his father are having these moments. But anytime you see Gaius, you don't know if it's going to be like wacky, if it's just going to be fun, if he's going to be twitchy and he's talking to Six while trying to have a conversation with another person, if he's going to be having a conversation with himself and make kissy faces to the air. Like, you just never know what you're going to get. And the fact that we got a whole episode, yes. All the above. I genuinely really loved the fact that everybody else could see Six and he was still just twitching, just tweaking out, just being weirdo Gaius, but like in front of people. And he was trying to save it a little bit when he realized that everybody else could see her. And I love that she just threw him under the bus. And the reasoning why, the whole literally come to Jesus kind of thing, but not Jesus, like her God, the Cylon God or creator or whomever. I don't like forcing people to believe in things that they don't. Here's the thing though. It worked. And I don't know if he is BSing her and is just saying the thing that he needs to say, because I still don't know if she's just a figment of his imagination. If there is a way that she's talking to him through his brain. I feel like that's brain damage. I feel like he's not that I don't see. Here's the thing is I totally was no, it's probably a figment of his imagination. And then sometimes I forget about that and I'm like, no, she's real. But the fact that everyone could see her, she had her moment with the commander, and that still does not sit well with me. I was like, I'm not a fan of this scene at all. But the fact that people interacted with her and then she just disappears. One, I think that makes Gaius look incredibly guilty. She was thrown out of an airlock or, she was incinerated. She's in a floorboard somewhere, jammed in a closet. I think it makes him look guilty when the person accusing him all of a sudden disappears. I also think that it makes Gaeta look very sus when he's like, no, I did all the security measures that I could before I started breaking down this video and I did everything. Oh, but once it was all said and done and clear, there was one more thing I had to apply to it. That's not how that works. It's not well, you got to the end here, so we give up. Fake image. No, Gaeta is sus. He is sus. But the fact that the president was before Gaius and was just my gut is telling me something's off about you. She's not wrong. I think in general, something is off about Gaius. But I also think that with him having Six in his head and talking to him, or him creating this in his head and talking to himself, that he doesn't appear to be sane and whole and with it. And I don't know if you want somebody in charge of things that is not sane and whole and with it. Just saying. And you could also say that about the president. She collapsed and she's going through this illness. I don't think that makes you not able to do your job, but I feel like there needs to be somebody ready to go backup wise if you are unable to do your job. So I do worry about the president and them being without a leader, and then, Commander Adama having to make decisions that I think are better laid on her shoulders than his, because he's the military mind and she's very much, the humanity part of the show, even though, I do feel like now after these, 8 episodes in the miniseries, that he very much is a man with a huge heart, and it does weigh heavy on him. It's just he's dealt with it differently over the course of his life because of being in the military. But her being ill, I feel like now that she's collapsed, that's going to be out there. And then Lee has the secret that she has cancer. The doctor's keeping the secret that she has cancer. I wonder how much longer they can kind of keep that at bay before it becomes an issue. Now with 6 disappearing, obviously, one, like I said, I feel like that makes Gaius look a little bit guilty, like maybe he's done something. But I also think that that creates even a heavier paranoia. Like the commander very much had a conversation with her and was very much in the room with her and very much was touched by her. And like like they were in CIC, they weren't in his office when they were having like everything out with Gaius. So like other people, in fact, saw her, and now they can't find this person. So then it's like, well, maybe they can't, maybe they do find her. I don't know, but I'm going off of the last episode that they couldn't find her. Does that create even more paranoia that like Cylons can just come and go, that they can, just appear and reappear whenever they feel like? That's like another layer of the paranoia that we really don't need. Another scene that I absolutely liked, and he is growing on me very much, but Exo Ty, like, and by growing on me, I mean that I'm more accepting of like his way of doing things and saying things and behavior, because he's somebody that would grate on me in real life. But I feel like seeing different sides of him really does help. And like he knows how to motivate Starbuck, who, just wants to wallow in self-pity in her bed. And I get it. When you have an injury, you don't feel like yourself, you feel weak. She's probably not used to being in that position. So, for her, it's like screw this, like I'm not even gonna try. And him kind of doing the reverse psychology and being like, yeah, that's exactly what I expected from you. Like it was kind of like, well, that's motivating for her. Her getting up and going and helping the chief with the raider and getting inside of it and like figuring out how to turn it back on, and that's really exciting. One, because chief learning more about the raiders only helps everybody else, but it kind of motivates her and it makes her feel like she's connected back with the group, I think, and there's a motivation to heal and walk around and get better for her. Now, the other thing with the chief was Boomer gently caressing the ship and saying sweet nothings to it. Sus. And it felt like he was like, what the hell is wrong with you? So I'm hoping that stuck with him. I'm hoping he didn't just kind of shrug it off, especially now that he's kind of taken a step back from their relationship, and he's probably built a wall or keeps himself a little guarded so he can keep it at bay. Maybe he's noticed these things now, because a lot of times we're too close to situations that we don't see the big red flags that are waving around because they just kind of graze our periphery. They're not right in front of our face. And I think now, like, it might be right in front of his face. Not that I want anything bad to happen with Boomer, but I feel like if she's found out and they're able to utilize her or keep an eye on her, or if she's freaking out about being a Cylon, that might help us. I mean, there's so many good things that could come about of knowing that you're a Cylon and actively working against the Cylons, but I don't know if you can fight your programming. I feel like she does. Like she did when she was like discovering water on the moon. Like she was like, I can't read it. Like, what does that thing say? And she's just like, I know I can read this. What does that say? And she was fighting the programming there. And I feel like Six fights her programming all the time. Like, I feel like she's so curious about humans that she's almost like toying with guys. Again, I don't know if it's in his head or if it's real, but I feel like in general, she likes to toy with humans, and not even in a sadistic way, like in a curiosity kind of way. Doral 100% is just like, I don't care. Like, okay. Cool. Now also we got Hilo and Sharon, Caprica. I almost said making babies. She can't. But like, him saying like, I respected your relationship with the chief, and I keep saying the chief, with chief. And I stayed in the background. And I mean, I get it. One, she's beautiful. She's very nice. And it seems that like they've been through a lot. So there's a lot of trauma bonding that's probably happening as well on his end. I don't know. Probably not on her end, but like I 100% get it. And she's trying to make him feel this way about her. So yeah, that happened. Just making love and acid nuclear rain. But again, I don't know what their mission is with the Cylons on high that he can't see. My dear friend and other editor Nathaniel pointed out that he thinks Hilo can't see rooftops, so he can't look any higher. So he there's no way he could see the Cylons. I don't know. Here we are. But I want to know what the plan is with Hilo and where Sharon is leading him, taking him, guiding him towards. I hope it's not more survivors, but I do think that that's the end game with those Cylons, is to find more people to annihilate. So, with that happy note, let's get into it. I love this show, but there's not a lot of happiness that happens in it. Unless it's Gaius being toyed with. That brings me joy. Okay, now we can get into it. Oh. She looks so pretty. It's nice to see her in a different environment, but considering this is where Hilo and Sharon are most of the time. Yikes. No, don't go towards him. Yeah, Cylon. He's whispering Cylon. Scream yelling Cylon. I forget his name. Okay. Girl, you having a funky dream.
You have an urgent call from the captain of the Gemini Traveler. He says they found a Cylon on board.
You want to take that phone call? Yeah, it's probably what's his face.
The captain identified him by one of the photos we sent out. He's another copy of the man you knew as Leoben Conroy.
Leoben.
It's not a him, it's an it. Second, anything it says cannot be trusted.
Also
Best
true.
thing to do is to destroy it immediately.
I'd like to hear what this thing has to say. It might be important.
Well, especially if he discovered he's a Cylon, then he's probably freaking out and hiding himself away from people.
And send someone who won't be easily confused. That's an order, Commander.
Order understood.
Lee, XO.
You really think
who do
it'll
we
give
send?
us something?
President disagrees.
Oh, she's gonna go talk to him. Oh, I didn't even think about Starbuck.
He has an agenda. It's a goal you won't understand till later. Your job is to make sure he doesn't achieve the goal.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but he could be filling her head with this now, and like she won't believe him even if he is telling the truth. If he's not an activated Cylon. I didn't even think of Starbuck going though. Like I was just like, she's with the Raider. She's got a busted up leg. They're not gonna send her. Stand corrected. Okay, I'm going to look away and I'm going to take this opportunity to let you guys know that Sunny over at Cat and Sunny is starting his journey with Battlestar Galactica, and currently on his Patreon, he has the first episode of the miniseries up. So if you'd like to go over there and watch that, I will link it down below. I love Sunny's reactions, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. You can also go to my Patreon if you want to see him early. Back again, caressing that ship. This is a very weird thing for somebody to do.
What's up?
Nothing. Just
Doesn't
wanted
look like
to see
nothing.
if what I told you the other day helped at all.
Yeah, actually it did.
Yeah, she has an insight. Sus.
How'd you come up with that anyway? Just pop into your head?
I'm
It's
a
in her
Cylon.
coding.
You know, that's not even funny.
If I could prove that I wasn't, would that make a difference? You know, between us?
Well, that was unexpected.
Really does look like a person.
Yeah. It's sweating.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's interesting.
To make him look more real, so it looks like a person.
Sleeping?
Praying.
I don't think the gods answer the prayers of toasters.
God answers everyone's prayers. What's your name?
Why were you hiding aboard this ship?
I had a mission to perform. Listen, it's a small thing. Can you just tell me who you are?
No.
God, you stink.
You said you wanted to cooperate. Either start talking or we are done.
Okay.
I feel like she'd get physical with him.
But I really want to know your name.
Creepy. I thought he was just going to be like an innocent guy who just didn't know he was a Cylon. No, he's aware.
Starbuck? I knew it. I was right. I was right. Now we can talk. Now we can talk about a lot of things.
Why? What changed?
I planted a nuclear warhead aboard one of your ships. Your military training dictates you take it to your masters and let them decide.
We have a lot to talk about.
Not how I thought that was going to go.
Fun.
I don't think it'll be fun at all, but I did not think it was going to go that way whatsoever.
And sweep Galactica for any kind of radiological devices. But emphasize, it's just a precaution. I don't want to alarm anyone until we know for sure.
Yes, sir.
I mean, how many warheads do they have throughout the entire fleet? We know there's 5 on Galactica.
See how much I got right, so you pray to Artemis and Aphrodite?
Where's the warhead?
I was right. See, our faces are similar, but I looked.
How is he right? I don't know what's happening right now. Same
I
Starbuck.
see the universe, and I have a surprise for you. I have something to tell you about the future,
Is that so?
but we have to see this through to the end.
What does he mean by that? The Cylons or them together right there in that room? She's gonna enjoy lunch. You get to watch and starve.
Oh, was that swimming in streams or something?
You mind? When you're starving, anything tastes good.
Fair. Oh! Didn't expect that. Good grief.
Did that hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hurt.
Machines shouldn't feel pain. Shouldn't bleed. Shouldn't sweat. Here's your
Jeez.
dilemma. Turn off the pain, you feel better, but that makes you a machine, not a person. You see, human beings can't turn off their pain. Human beings have to suffer and endure.
The full human experience.
I knew this about you. You're everything I thought you would be.
He's messing with you, girl. He doesn't know anything about you.
Let the games begin.
I'm here for it. Good grief. Here we go. Yeah, horn dogs.
Oh, look what the cat dragged in.
Lieutenant Valeri. It's an unexpected visit.
Is she gonna try to
Wonderful.
seduce him? Ooh. 6 did not like that.
Anything I can do. Anything at all.
Wonder why they call her Boomer.
I heard you're working on a test to tell the difference between Cylons and humans.
Bingo.
Do you think I could be in the first batch?
What's a rush?
What's your rush? I'm not sure it'd be appropriate to show favoritism, if indeed I'm working on anything at all.
Nice catch there,
I
guys.
saved your life back on Caprica. You wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for me. You
Yeah.
owe me.
She shoots. She scores.
She's good.
I suppose there's some small truth to that.
There's a big truth to that, guys. I mean, at least now she's kind of like, yeah, I might be a Cylon. That's great.
Shouldn't be too hard to convince him to stay and start a life together. If not, kill him. Can you handle that?
Or are you in love with him as well? One thing about both boomers is I do genuinely believe that they have feelings for these people. I'll say that much. I feel like she loves Chief. I feel like she loves Hilo.
Hey, what's going on?
Why do I smile every time she has a situation with a man? I want them to do well.
Everything. Just trust me.
I do.
Are both boomers gonna be like, I'm a Cylon? Like, are they gonna have a come to Jesus, Kobold Jesus meeting?
You got a real thing about rivers and streams, don't you? I think we should indulge you in your obsession.
Ooh, waterboarding? Oh. I don't like seeing people suffer, but he's not people.
Do you realize I could kill you before they came back in the room?
Then why don't you?
It's not the time.
Oh, God.
You fracked up, pal. Now the gloves come off.
I believe her. I believe her. I don't like it. I don't like torturing people. I don't like beating the truth out of him. I don't like it at all because he's not going to give it up. But at the same time, ew, he still looks freshish. That's gross. But I don't do well with those scenarios. I don't like it. I mean, I'm just going to throw this out there. Water's a really hot commodity right now, so maybe don't waste it on this guy.
Why does he care if we destroy his body? Won't he just transfer away and laugh at all of us and our stupid human ideas?
What's she thinking?
You're afraid that we're a long way from home. What if you don't transfer all the way back?
Mm-hmm.
What if when you die here, you really die?
Uh-huh.
Somewhere in that hard drive that you call a brain is a beeping message. Error does not compute. I don't have a soul. I have software. If I die, I'm gone.
I mean, that tactic works a lot better than like pain and punching and all that. Because it seems like Cylons really like love their god. Not gods, god.
Green, you're a normal human being. Red, you're an evil Cylon.
Go around and look at the results pop up. Don't just leave it to him. Go and look at the screen.
Congratulations, Doctor. You've just uncovered your very first Cylon.
Yeah.
Now here's an interesting moment in the life of Gaius Baltar. What will he do?
Not tell her, probably. The truth is right there.
Is everything okay?
No. Mm-mm.
I'm guessing her Cylon side will take over and break your neck before you can give away her secret.
I don't think
Let's
so.
find out.
Congratulations, it's Green.
What a wiener.
I'm worried what you were gonna say.
Were you?
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing to be worried about anymore. Yeah, you couldn't be more human if you tried.
Well, thanks.
Oh God, is her hair gonna come
I
out?
have something to tell you.
How are they infiltrating people's minds?
All of this has happened before, and all of it will happen again.
Don't quote scripture.
You're gonna find Como. Como will lead you to Earth. This is my gift to you, Kara.
The hell is going on here?
Interrogation. Yeah. I don't like it either, but it is what it is.
Clean him up. There's not much time.
Yes, sir.
Clean him up for what though? Public display? Like what are we doing here?
Take his restraints off.
I don't
Do it.
like that idea.
I've come here to tell you that this conflict between our peoples does not have to continue. We have to trust each other. Trust me.
I don't like this at all.
Tell me what I need to know.
The warhead doesn't exist. I made it up. I didn't want to die, so when I got caught, I made up a story to buy some time.
I don't know if I trust that either.
No! Stand up.
Lara, I have something to tell you.
Uh-huh.
Adama is a Cylon.
No, he's not. Shoot him. Shoot him. Airlock.
Put him out the airlock.
What? You can't do that, not after he told you
Yes,
the truth.
I can.
Like, I don't like torture. Airlock, yay! But I like it that it's coming from the president. What is happening right now? Oh, that's what she saw, was him getting sucked away. Yeah. Hopefully he can't grip onto another ship. Hopefully he's dead. I don't know. Oh, she does believe.
Lords of Cobol, hear my prayer. I don't know if he had a soul or not, but if he did, take care of it.
Well, that's very kind of her.
Care to tell me why?
President Adar once said that the interesting thing about being a president is that you don't have to explain yourself to anyone.
That's not entirely true. Tell him.
Something wrong?
No. Nothing at all.
Not a Cylon. Not a Cylon. Not a Cylon. Not a Cylon. Nope. 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 Not falling for that shit. That's what they want you to do. They want you to freak out about stuff that's not true. There, I feel better. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I really liked that the scene in the beginning where see, here's the thing though. Somehow they infiltrate your minds. So whether it's your dreams or whether it makes you see people who are not there, I don't like it. I don't like it. Unless she is very intuitive. I don't see that's the fact that her dream came true where she saw him getting pulled away and out of the airlock, and the fact that it went into slow motion and she was having that realization, that scares me a little bit about the powers of the Cylons that like maybe we don't know about or we're guessing. Because like we don't know if Six is actually in Gaius's head or if like he's imagining her. But the fact that like she appeared in front of, you know, Commander Adama and the people on CIC that like, okay, did she get into all of their heads or was she actually really present there and found a way to escape? You know, like how did the president see this vision of Leoben and then it happens at the end of the episode? Like is she just really intuitive and she can see the future? I don't know. I think Kara had a point, you know, that like all he really cared about was that if he did die, that his soul would have nowhere to go and he would cease to exist. And if his consciousness at least goes from one Cylon to the next, it's almost like a reincarnation. And maybe that would bring Cylon's peace to know that like they're being reincarnated a little bit. I don't know if that's the fact. I think I'm watching this and Avatar: The Last Airbender at the same time. I think that like my brain works a little differently. I do love that, you know, Kara cared whether or not he had a soul. You know, I care about like inflicting pain and causing pain to other humans or to other beings or just anything. Like I don't want anybody to feel pain that we can avoid. And that was really hard on me. That's why I don't particularly love like torture scenes. That's a reason why I had an issue with the Saw movies until I watched them and like really got the storyline. But like I don't like people to be in pain just for the sake of them being in pain and hurting them. And like it just bothers me, even though I know he's a Cylon, it still bothers me to see it. But the fact that she was worried that he might have had a soul and that like she still believes and she still has her faith, I think that that's a beautiful thing. I think that that's wonderful to see that like she's not pushing it on anybody. She's not pushing her view on him. But like she had her quiet moment to herself where, you know, she said a prayer and hopefully like his soul's being taken care of. I think that that's a beautiful thing. But I am kind of I guess pissed, that the president didn't tell Commander Adama that Leoben said that he's a Cylon. Now, I don't know what Adama he was talking about, but the fact that the commander has a son, which I'm sure he remembers his son's birth, that there wasn't some big accident that took away his memory like there is for Boomer, that like there's no way he could be a Cylon unless they did a copy of Lee and created a bunch of Cylons that look like Lee. You know, I just feel like they're too famous. They're too big of faces and names for Caprica, the fleet, military, now everything that like the remaining people. I just think that they're too recognizable to actually be Cylons. Yeah, I don't buy it. But the fact that she didn't even say anything, and the fact that Boomer is a Cylon, Gaius can prove that she's a Cylon, and he was so afraid to like tell her because he didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, and it's also Gaius, so he's a complete puss. You know, for him to just be like, oh, "You're a Cylon," like I don't think that he would. Even if he wasn't afraid, if he didn't have Six chirping in his ear, I think he'd be like, "No, you're fine," because he's a weakling. He's a little weasel. He's just, he's Gaius Baltar. There is but one Gaius, and he is the biggest pussy you've ever met. But the fact that Boomer, I feel like Boomer and Sharon, oh, I have something in my eye. Oh. The fact that Boomer and Sharon both kind of have a realization, and I don't know if it's happening with Sharon on Caprica, but definitely Boomer, her thinking like, yeah, it is really weird that I knew that about the Raider, to treat it like a pet. And like she had Cylon written on the mirror, and I don't know who did that. I mean, any of the other Cylons that are aboard Caprica, but the fact that like she was like even worried about it, and like especially after the bombs, especially after the water, especially after being questioned, all these things, like all the evidence is starting to kind of like snowball downhill, and Boomer kind of having this moment where she's like, maybe I am a Cylon, and her saying that to the chief, like they keep having those moments where we're just like, oh, it's because you're a Cylon. Everybody laughs, ha 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 ha. But then it's just like, no, dead on, you're dead on. I love that she had that realization, but I hate that she has relief that Gaius's test showed that she wasn't a Cylon. The fact that she's a beta test, I would also be like, I want a second opinion. I don't know who you go to for a second opinion, but that's what I would say. Like, if something hasn't been proven to work, I want a second opinion. And I love that, like, we have more information about the Raider, that, like, there is, like, all this knowledge now about it that they're getting from it because Kara is working with Chief to, like, you know, figure everything out. I think that that's great for us. The more knowledge we have about the Cylons, the Cylon ships, everything, the better prepared we are to face them when the time comes, or if the time comes. Not that I think that makes us unbeatable, but at least we'll put up a fight. I feel like when it comes to the Cylons, they just always will have the upper hand. Now, the fact that like you can see that, and I don't really know what was happening with Sharon when she has her little meeting and she talks about the fact that like she had sex with Hilo and like that doesn't equal love. Like from Six's point of view, it's like like we want to hear the words. It's like, I don't know. Essentially, he was like saying that he was deeply in love with her for a really long time and didn't tell her. And her running back with kind of a desperation. Like obviously they're gonna have to find the shelter that Six and Doral has set up, but I don't know if Sharon also has feelings for Hilo. Because I feel like Boomer, like that she is like the one Cylon that like is gonna have that conflict because she actually cares. Not just curious about like Six and not like nihilistic like Doral, that she actually cares about humans, a human in particular, on both ends, whether it is on Galactica or on Caprica. Interesting. Provocative. I love it. And it's like really hard for me to trust her because I like her as a character. I enjoy her as a character. And every time she has a scene, whether it was with, you know, with Chief in 2 episodes back and like they're having like their sweet moments together. And I'm just like, no, Cylon, bad. And then like even with her like running towards Hilo, like I'm just like it seems like she's running out of love. And then I'm like, no, stop it. but like, I think that like, I feel that way because she feels that way about them. It's great acting on Grace's like part because like I shouldn't like her at all. And I do. I really do. And Six being minorly jealous of Boomer when she's talking to Gaius, I thought was really interesting. Like, really? Are you threatened? She's not even a blonde. Yeah, so like that just adds more and more layers to the Cylons that they believe that they have souls. Can their consciousness transfer if they're too far out? I don't know if these questions will be answered, but I definitely find it interesting. The whole layer of faith for a Cylon is, I feel like that's why a lot of people have faith is so they don't feel alone and they don't feel afraid to like go into the hereafter. In my mind, it's just done. And like, that sucks. And I don't want to die. That makes me afraid to die because I don't want things to just end. But like, some people need that comfort. They need their faith. And I understand that completely. It's just really interesting that machines have that programmed into them. And, again, that's a part of like evolution. Like, just because you're a machine doesn't mean that at some point you don't understand feelings or have feelings. They're not the same thing as humans, but it could have an equivalent, I guess. I don't know. That's evolution. Very interesting prospect. It's going to keep the old gears spinning long after I've watched this episode. But guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon and up to 2 episodes early. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me see. It's so hard to ask you guys a question because I'll be like, do you think Cylons have souls? Because you probably know whether they do or they don't. And if you say no, they never explain that one. Like, well, shit. So again, I am always at a loss as to what to ask you guys. But I definitely think that the Boomer model, I don't know, is she number 8? Did somebody say she's number 8? That like she can actually feel, express, and experience love in a Cylon way. But like that it overruns her programming to be a Cylon. I think that that's true. Especially the way she caresses the ship. Like there's a lot of love there, which is still flippin' weird. But the fact that she said it's like a pet, like I mean, we all know how we feel about our cats, our dogs, our goldfish, like we love them and they are part of our family. So it makes sense. It makes sense that Boomer would have those moments with a Raider ship. Even though the sentence doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This show, so good. Can't wait for more. So guys, come back here for the next episode. It is delightful. Remember to check out Sunny over at Cat and Sunny. He's doing his solo reactions. I thoroughly enjoy him because he's an emotional being like me, but he's very different. And I think that like he will like really love and understand the story breakdown. And I'm really excited to experience that on his channel as well. So in the meantime, guys, yeah, I'll see ya.